Like so many young girls, Nicole just wanted to throw herself around in a gym and enjoy herself. She reached a high level, but the culture within the sport she loved left her broken.
It was a massively, I guess, love-hate relationship with the sport. I loved what I was doing, but I didn't like the way I was being treated, and it was a culture of fear and silence. I was so traumatised from what I now know is dissociation. I went home and sat and stared at a wall, and my parents couldn't get me to talk about what had happened. So I sat and stared at a brick wall for 6 hours. I used to stop drinking and eating completely throughout the day. Because I was fearful of them weighing me, because if we weren't doing well in the gym, that was obviously something that was looked at.
Hundreds of accounts of physical and emotional abuse were collected. Gymnasts were punished by being made to stand on the beam for 2 hours, while others reported being strapped to the bars for extended periods of time. And then there was the tyranny of the scales, with young athletes dehydrating themselves to keep their weight down. And it was coach-led.
It's absolutely child abuse. I've seen comments online, people saying, oh, they're just not tough enough, they don't understand what it takes to be an elite athlete. It's absolutely uncalled for. As you can see from the testimonials in this report, we're talking about serious physical, in 40% of the cases in the Whyte Review, physical abuse, emotional, psychological abuse that leads to serious trauma, eating disorders and PTSD.
Not victims, survivors.
The documentary Athlete A prompted American gymnastics to confront sexual abuse. It also led to gymnasts here to call out the physical and emotional abuse they have suffered. British Gymnastics has now said sorry, that their failures enabled a culture where abusive coaches simply got away with it.
We have to have the right coaches with the right cultural attitudes to move forward. So if there are coaches that don't have that, then they must be removed from our sport.
British Gymnastics has been singled out here as a failing organisation, one that's been insular and focused on financial rewards rather than the culture within the sport. Is it fit for purpose?
It needs huge reform, and I'm here to lead that reform, and I am committed to doing that. I will take all of the recommendations from Anne Whyte's review, and I will look wider than that to make sure that this sport is fit for purpose going forward.
Saying sorry doesn't undo the damage. It's only meaningful change that will validate the bravery it's taken to finally call this out. Tom Parmenter, Sky News.